two is Naviance for middle schools, right here. You know, you have, this is the access form I was telling you about if we ever come across. Training resources. There's an implementation planning sheet if you kind of asked for something like that. So if you want to use this as a vehicle, as a tool with your teachers to basically determine the process for the teacher, the process for the student, but we already talked about that. But that's a worksheet to organize your thoughts as a visual aid. Additionally, there is the spring teacher training implementation, which is useful as well. It's a booklet that was designed for middle school, especially 8th grade, on how to roll it out, right? How to utilize it. Excuse me, right here. And the scavenger hunt, job aid, Road Nations job aid, all these job aids are right here for middle school training. So you don't need to create your own stuff. And this is the scope and sequence, but you have a more up-to-date one. Okay? This is a planning sheet within the scope and sequence. So how are we going to implement it? What's next? After you present it to them, that would be next step. And they can write it down, so they're accountable. So these are tools available to you on this website. Summer Bridge training, also I would also use these things because yes, it was in the summer, but you're rolling it out so that people get warmed up and using it. These are, you know, a sequence of events of how they can implement it as well. Required activities. So this is the day by day for the Summer Bridge. But why not implement it into the homerooms or whatever class you want? So piggyback on that. So this link here, the college and career page on the Division of Instruction website, you have all sorts of college readiness, especially the one that you should be pulling out to send to all teachers, middle school activities. In there, believe it or not, embeds the use of the Naviance lessons during the month of October. So they're not recreating a curriculum. This is specific, so that we divided it up by school level. And look, exploring career and colleges in middle school, 6th through 8th grade. All right, scavenger hunt, which are already in there. Naviance is all embedded into that reference guide. Okay, that's one. And you pick the grade level you want to work with so that you can see the tasks and curriculum based on the grade level.
Also to see sample students.
Yep, sample. Each grade level has one. It's always inactive. In order for it to function, you have to make it active. All right. And so now it's active. What we're going to do is we're going to get this username. And then anybody you can provide this to for that grade level so they can use it in case if they don't have this access to use a sample student, because they're going to use a link. And you get this link right here. You either open up a tab, but because I have so many accounts, sometimes it glitches. I usually open up a new one. You can just simply open up a tab. But if it causes issues, another thing that you need to keep in mind is let's clear the history, use a different browser. Those are remedies I'd like to mention so that you can keep in mind. I have LA Academy here, and then the username I plug in here, 060. So each grade level has a different username, and the password for the demo student, I should call it sample student, is Naviance with a capital N. Now I'm in a 8th grader's account. And not only am I there, just like the demo student, I can do things in here. I can click around. I can go in to see their lessons, right? To walk through, show the teachers the student view, like on a different from the student. I can show them where to go to their planner. They changed it again. Where they go to tasks assigned to me, although in the front page they're there. What you want to, there it is, right? You could do it by grade level. Now, this is how you use a sample student. what you need to instill in the teachers is that, okay, teachers, yeah, your students are savvy. Really easy.
Creating
And if
group
you
for-
follow that guide, it'll tell you exactly what I'm
Creating
showing.
group for task, okay?
Yep. Students, groups.
Mm-hmm.
You go in there. These are just generic groups. You're going to add a group.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can use those groups and add the membership. Well, what are we going to say? Period 8. Placencia. Add a group. So now we're going to look for Placencia.
Mm-hmm.
With that, we can either change the name, we can put the students in there, or we can delete it. But this one, we're creating the group of students.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go to the grade level that we're working with. Let's say 6th grade homeroom. Change. It's going to give us all of our 6th graders.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Placencia has so-and-so and so-and-so. As a matter of fact, he has a couple 7th graders in his, so I'm going to switch over to the grade level to give me the bank of that grade level.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvia's in there. And then you update membership.
Mm-hmm.
Now Mr. Placencia has those students in his group. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
When we go to, like, let's say we're gonna assign a task, and we're gonna go into the task here. We're only working with Mr. Placencia's group in this case, which is a group in 6th and 7th grade. Save. And then we're gonna go to assign and manage that task, which was, oh, let me see. Which one did I do? I did add career cluster to my list. So we're not assign and manage. We're gonna go in. We have a group in this case, or if you don't, you're just assigning it to the grade level. You'll maintain the grade level here, whatever it is, right? Beginning and the end of it. And then if you do have a group, you're gonna select the group. Where is it selecting the group? Student group, which is Placencia in this case. I only want to assign it to them. So when I continue, it gives me Placencia's class, which is Sylvia at this point. Oh, because I selected 7th grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a mixed class. So I'm going to assign the task, add career clusters or whatever, continue. Add career clusters, continue. So now Sylvia, when you go to her profile, she has add career clusters, whoever is in your roster. Or if you don't pick a group, you just keep the grade level, it'll give you the entire grade level. Let me, oh, sorry, go back. I'm gonna get Placencia's group so I can undo it, because we don't wanna have Sylvia the only one with that. So simply to undo it, you go back in. Where is she at? Oh, because I need to change the grade level again. She was in 7th grade. It's a new transaction. Placencia's group. I want to make sure I clean it up, that's all.
Mm-hmm.
And then we continue. Whoever is in here, you could even select certain students on that roster. So I'm going to unassign task for Sylvia. Right? I'm going to unassign it so it could go back. That's it. So if I hadn't selected Placencia's group and I'm doing the entire 7th grade, or select 7th graders from the entire 7th grade class, I wouldn't select a group. I would just go and it gives me all the 7th graders. I either select them all and then add a task, or select certain ones and add a task. That's what the group is used for. Another thing the group is used for, and the most useful report that we can start with here, 2 of them that you would benefit. There's a lot of them here for different purposes. The ones that you would be using a lot is if you want to do the student usage to see if those students are logging on, who hasn't logged on, to bring them in, have the counselors come in, show them how to log on. Or most common is jumping down to the planner and the task completion, this one right here. This one in particular, it'll give you the exact number of students that completed the tasks that you assigned, who started, who hasn't started, who completed. And that's the report you give to the teachers so that they can track their students. So again, if you have a group, you would select Placencia's group here because you only want that report for that group of students.
It'll be too much to look at.
If not, you as the administrator, you want to see your entire grade 7 because by December they should have done these tasks. Now I want to get the entire grade 7. I'm not going to pick a group. I'm going to go in here. You're going to remove all because whatever is in here is going to pull up on the report. These are not necessary for you to see, but you're going to pick the fields, the columns you want. I usually do ID and grad year, and these are the ones I told them to fulfill by December. Now I want to see who did it so that I can go back to the teachers and say, make sure these students are done because that's what we're looking at by the end of December. So then you get it. CSV,